Welcome back to GUAM Reef fish identification. Don't. Just please get down. There you go. There you go. All right. Welcome back. Hope you enjoyed last video. Today brings us to Ritidian Beach, and let's just snorkel on in. You know, like instead of dive right in, let's snorkel right in, because that's what we did. Oh, I moisturized my hands, by the way, so. Right, anyway, let's get started. That first fish is going to be found on page 25, and it is a butterfly fish. Who could have predicted that? And just like the last video, you know, like these guys are just so cool, and you really got to film them all because they start to look the same. So yeah, the Pacific double saddle butterfly fish. White fore and mid body, bright yellow rear, pair of diffuse dark saddles across back, black spot on tail base, solitary in pairs or groups, coral-rich lagoons and seaward reefs to 30 meters. And the fish that we caught on camera is all by himself, but you know, it looks like he's doing all right. He's got a nice little spot. Got a Moorish idol for a neighbor, you know. He'll be all right. But yeah, that is that guy, and that is our first fish that we identified in Ritidian. So let us move on to fish number 2. And that brings us to page 189. And if it's not a butterfly fish, it's gonna be a wrasse. This is the Yellowtail Coris in the juvenile phase. Remember in the last video, I wasn't sure what IP or JP stood for. JP just stands for juvenile phase, and IP stands for initial phase. But yes, we caught the Yellowtail Coris in its juvenile phase, and you don't want to blink because otherwise you'll miss it. I slowed down the video so you can see him. He's got distinct coloring, so we're pretty confident with identifying him, but that is that guy. Let me read. It's bright red orange, 5 black edged white saddles across head and back, solitary, sand and rubble bottoms at base of reefs. Yeah, so this guy just did not want to be filmed. He's just sprinting on out of there. But yeah, that is that. Eventually we'll see the initial phase, but for right now in Ritidian, we found the juvenile phase. Actually, I think in our next Ritidian video, I think we see this guy, so that's pretty exciting. Anyway, Yellowtail Coris juvenile phase. That is our second fish. And let's move on to our third. On page 24, and it's the Ornate Butterflyfish. And look at them, see, they're just so cute. But yeah, so they're bluish white with orange bands, narrow yellow margin on dorsal and anal fins, yellow edged black eye bar, usually in pairs, coral rich areas in clear water lagoons and seaward reefs to 36 meters. And as you can see in the video, yep, they are together forever. It looks like, you know, because they look like they're so in sync with each other when they're swimming, at least most of the time. It just kind of looks like the front fish is like almost looking back, like, hey, you're still with me? And it's just super cute. Like, they got the little buddy system. Oh, I love them. But yeah, that is the Ornate Butterflyfish, and that is our third fish identified in Ritidian. So let's head on to the next fish, number 4. And I'm so excited about this one. It is not a butterfly fish, it's closely related. It is an angelfish, and that is on page 36, and it is the fingerprint fish. At least that's what Matthew and I call it. No, actually it's called the Emperor Angelfish Juvenile. But you can obviously see why we call it a fingerprint, because it looks like a fingerprint. So yeah, he's blue-black with striking pattern of blue and white concentric circular markings, tail margin transparent. The pattern gradually fades into adult coloration between 8 to 12 centimeters. He's just so cute. The first time we saw this guy, we didn't have our camera, and we've just been after him ever since, and we finally got him. These guys are like impossible to film. They just don't want to be filmed at all. Not that they'll like dart away super quickly, it's just they're so elusive. We had a dive trip that was just solely focused on finding an emperor angelfish. We got him. As you can see, we got a little tab. But yeah, that was the emperor angelfish juvenile. Haven't seen this guy nor this subadult, but eventually we will. Aren't they just so cute? Fingerprint fish. Anyway, so that was our fourth fish. And okay, so you have like these beautiful markings that like, okay, obviously it's this fish. Those are distinct enough features that you can pinpoint it pretty easily. And the next fish, not so much. I mean, we did a good job. We're comfortable with our decision, but we gotta start chipping away here. And that brings us to fish number 5, and it's the Convict Surgeonfish. It's white with 5 to 6 black bars on head and body, often feed in large groups, usually on shallow reefs to 5 meters. Yeah, we've seen this guy, you know, in pairs or groups, not rarely by themselves. In this video, towards the end, you can see that he's got another buddy waiting for him. But yeah, that is that guy, the Convict Surgeonfish. Haven't seen this one yet. Can't wait. But anyway, yeah, fish number 5. So fish number 6, and we're going back to the wrasses on page 217. Yep, it's the Threespot Wrasse. In the video, he goes by really quickly, but we're pretty comfortable with our decision. It's pale yellowish green with lavender vertical streak on most scales, lavender bands on head, black spot on upper tail base, dusky blotch on forebody with dark spot above, solitary or formed groups, sand and rubble with isolated coral heads to 18 meters. Yeah, we don't really see wrasses in groups too much. They're mostly by themselves, but it doesn't mean that they don't exist in groups somewhere. But yeah, that is the Threespot Wrasse. And let's move on. That was fish number 6, so let's go to 7. And 7 is also a wrasse. It's on page 210. And it's the Pacific bird wrasse initial phase. And we don't have much footage of him, but again, those features are kind of what give him away. Like you can see the little snout, and you can see the colorings. Like again, I know I sound like a broken record, but we're comfortable with our decision. And we've seen him before, we just haven't filmed him, so we knew it was the Pacific bird wrasse. But yeah, he moves pretty quickly out of the way, but I think we got him. He's a slender body with greatly elongate orangish snout, whitish head and breast, body gray gradiating to a nearly black tail base, similar appearing Indian Ocean bird wrasse, Latin, in Indian Ocean including Andaman and Java seas. The juvenile phase is on the following page. We might have seen him, but if we don't have it on film, you know, it doesn't count. You're fine, Opie, you're fine. In the same shot, we're going to see our 8th fish identified. That's going to be on page 457, and I might lose you guys. You guys might say, no, we need better footage, and you're probably right, but we think we identified the Yellowmargin Moray. You can see him, he's stretching out his body to get whatever it is, and with our upside down shot, you can see, you can see his eye, you can see, a tooth. But yeah, a flashlight would have been hella helpful, but we didn't have one. We still don't have one. I don't know why we don't have one, but it is what it is. And we looked up Yellowmargin Moray on the internet, and we're like 80 to 85% sure. We looked at all the pictures on the internet. It looks like this guy, and a lot of them do look the same, but we did our due diligence and we came to this conclusion. But we might be wrong. Maybe an expert can, weigh in the comments and let us know, and then we'll rip this and put it somewhere else. But it's definitely an eel. Like, you can't deny that. It's got the little flappy thing on top. It's got that long body. I should know what those body parts are, but I just don't. But let me just read. Yellowish orange body, densely mottled with dark brown, dark purplish brown front of head, black botch over gill opening, orange iris, solitary and curious, head frequently protrudes from reef recess, lagoon and outer reefs in 1 to 150 meters. That's cute, kind of cute, like they're curious that it says it there. But yeah, that is our 8th fish in Ritidian Beach. And so if anyone's keeping count, probably no one, but that is our 16th fish in identifying the 2,000 species in here. But we're gonna go off of photographs, so that doesn't help. 16 out of the 2,500 photos in this book. Wow. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope I have the next video out shortly.